Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to create this easy 2024 animation in the app HIPAINT. I'll be sharing the brushes I used and the techniques I used to create this animation. So let's get started. First, I'm opening my HIPAINT app and I'm going to use 3:4 ratio canvas because if I use screen size canvas it have only 44 layers. It is not enough for me to create the animation, so I go for this 3:4 ratio. And here first I'm going to create the background details. For background details I'm using the gradient. I am using the colors like yellow and orange, a little bit of red. So adjust the gradient panel like this to get more blended and faded, such a gradient. And in new layer I'm going to use some texture, so I'm using this flex brush so to add some dots like texture all over the background. I'm using this and I feel like the color is more bright compared to the background, so I'm adding little bit of yellow and orange same way, and I'm also changing the blending mode to make it like more blended to the background, not too popping out, because the main hero of this illustration animation is the letters, the numbers that going to scroll down. So we have to keep all other things simple and not bright as the of the numbers. So I'm keeping everything simple here. So now I'm going to draw the elements of the animation, like the concept is like 2024 and the number 4, because already we are in the number 3, 2023. So the number going to scroll from the top to the bottom, from 1, 2, 3 and 4, and when it comes to 4 it's going to go down and come up again, then stay in the center like all other numbers. So that's the concept. So for that the background should be dark so that the golden numbers will appear bright to with high visibility. So to keep that I'm using this maroon color background, and I'm going to use another rectangle above this with orange color. And this time I'm not going to use the leaf because it's going to be like a border. So I'm adjusting the size, also making sure the the rectangle is at the center of the canvas, and we need 4 divisions. So like this, and now I'm going to lock the transparent pixels and I'm going to apply the texture. So I'm using the medium nozzle airbrush brush to add a little bit of gradient shiny look to this rectangle. So I'm using the line tool on and also adjusting opacity so that it don't need to be pop up, so in such a way. Now I feel like the orange is not that much blended well, so I'm adding a little bit of maroon color at the corners like this. So this is one of the tip, like if you want to apply some gradient in a parallel line, you don't need to mess up. Instead you can use the line tool. So that's one of the tip. And here I am going to add some shadow details, so I am using the linear burn blending mode layer, and so this is going to this is going to be inside the rectangle like this. So in the same way we're going to fill all the rectangles like this. Now adding few more texture. I'm using this charcoal brush to add some more texture at the background. Now trying to change the blending mode, I feel multiply is good and also reduce the opacity a little bit. Now comes the main thing, the numbers. So for creating numbers, before that, this all going to be the background of the animation, which means nothing going to be changed. So I'm just adding everything inside the group. This is the way you have to combine everything inside the group. So create a group and choose the option combine down so that you can combine everything under the inside the group. So now everything about the background is ready except the numbers. So 202, so that's not going to be changed in this animation. So I'm also going to add the numbers 202 inside the animation. So using the text tool, I'm just created the 2 and adjusting the size to 230 pixel that fits well within the square rectangle like this. Also this looks very plain. I'm going to add 3D look for this as well. So what I have to do is rasterize every text layer before using, because when the layer is in the rasterize in the text layer format, you cannot add or do anything further in that layer. So you have to rasterize compulsory to perform any other adding like details, any other thing. If you want to do in that layer, you have to rasterize. So here I'm not going to use multiple layers for the single number. So I just switched on the transparent lock and added these details. In the same way I'm going to do for number 0. So same process again, this going to be repeated all over in this video. So just listen that how I created it too, and in the same way you have to create all other numbers. So I'm just speeding up the video because same process again and again. And now again we need to, so just go and copy that layer, and using the transform tool, if you moving, this is something difficult when it comes to HIPAINT. So in that time use this way of using the transform tool. So just adjust the moving distance and use the arrow symbols to easily, otherwise the shape going to be changed when you try to move using the endpoints. And now I'm just dragging all these numbers inside our group. So our background is ready. Go to this dot and create animation, and here if you want to keep that as a background, click on this. Here is the option is background. So once you click on the background as background, it will be stay in all the seconds, that all the frames. So now I'm going to create the animation. So this is the first layer for our animation. Whatever we created before this are only for the background, which are not going to change or move. So now in the first layer of our first frame of our animation, I am using the number 1. Just created the text 1, and now rasterize that, and we're going to duplicate this. Either you can copy that layer in the layer panel, or you can duplicate here. In both way you can do. And before that, click on the transparent lock. So whatever details we have to do, we are going to complete that, and we are going to duplicate, so that we no need to do the same texture details again and again. So all we have to do is position them properly. So now our 1 is ready. Just copy again. I need this one for 5 times, so I'm just going to use that 5 times. And here I show you first. In the first string, the number is going to be at the top, almost hidden. So move like this. So this is the way you have to use the transform tool. Right. Now I'm going to erase using the ballpoint pen eraser. So which means the one is coming from the top, that's entirely inside the rectangle. So to create such a look. Now you can see, for this one, for the second layer, we're going to, for the fourth layer, so the second going to be at the top, and the third layer going to be at the center of the all same like all other numbers, and the fourth layer going to be fourth frame going to be like bottom, and the fifth frame going to be like the one is almost hidden like this, and we are going to erase the unwanted details. So this is the way, and it looks exactly like scrolling. In the same way we have to do for number 2, 3 and 4. In number 4 we have some variation to do. So before that, we don't need to create frame 2 again. So just copy this layer and move here, and now I'm going to position that here like this, and I'm going to do the same process. I'm going to copy the layer for 5 times, and I am going to place them in the same way we did for number 1. Now like this, erase the unwanted details. Then we'll leave it at the top. Then the third going to be standstill, and the fourth going to be little bit bottom, and the fifth going to be hidden, and erase. So why I'm explaining this again and again is because this is the main part of our animation, how it is moving. So the positioning of the number is very important, so that's why I'm doing, and I did the same for number 3 as well. And now I'm going to do for number 4. Same process again, but we have to use this number layer for 7 to 8 times this time. So like this. Now again, if you want to copy there, you can copy as a layer, or you can duplicate as a frame here. Both are same. And positioning like this, erase, then little bit at the top, then this is going to be at the center, and this is going to be a little bit at the bottom, and this is going to be almost hidden. Now after hitting, it going to reverse the process, like it going to come up again, and here come up again a little bit, then it's going to move to the top. Over here, I'm going to move it to the top. like this, and this is going to be hidden again, almost hidden. And the last one going to be at the center, so it's going to scroll down as usual to the bottom and scroll up in the reverse way, then it will come to the center point. So that's how we have to make movements. So almost done. Place it exactly at the center. So then I'm going to add a little bit of glittering texture. So for that, go to the number 2 inside the background group and make the layer as a clipping layer, and I'm going to use the fluorescence brush which is inside the lights, and we're using the yellowish color. So the fluorescence give beautiful glowy texture. So in the same way I'm going to do for all the numbers, all the layers in the entire illustration. Now you can see, now it's almost done. And here if you feel like you have so much of layers, just merge a clipping layer to the number layer, so that you can reduce the number of layers in the animation canvas. And it's almost done. Go to the share option, save that as GIF, and this how it looks. Hope you like this tutorial, learn something new from me. If so, subscribe to my channel, and thank you for watching.